YouTuber.
Hey,
Hey,
we're live.
We're live.
Hey guys, you're watching Tech Radar.
Hey, I'm James, and I've reviewed the Honor 9. Basil's also been using the Honor 9 as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so James reviewed it on techradar.com. I reviewed it on youtube.com/techradar. So we thought it would be a good opportunity to give you not one, but 2 points of view with regards to Honor's new flagship.
Yeah, it's a very interesting phone. Have we got anyone in here yet?
Yeah, so we've got a few people in the chat room. The way we're going to structure this is we're going to jump into basically relaying what we think this phone is, starting with design going on screen, then the insides of the phone, our personal experience with it, and wrapping up with battery life. But at any point, if anyone has any questions, just fire them through in the live chat. We've got William Judden here. Hi William, going very, very well. Very glad to be part of the Tech Radar team. Never coming to Canada, thanks anyway. That was from Frank Wong. I love my Honor 8, Honor 9 in the next few weeks. Yeah, very nice phone. And that pretty much sums it up. It is a very nice phone.
That is kind of the whole story here, really. It's not an innovative product. It's not a brand. It's not an amazing brand new thing that you're going to have. But the whole package works really well. Yeah. And it is just a really nice phone. It is the kind of thing that you buy, and you're not going to really be disappointed with any aspect of it, really.
Yeah. Except if you're videoing a lot, maybe with the camera. But we'll come on to that a bit later. Starting with the design as a kind of kicking off point. It ships with a case. I have a case on mine. James doesn't.
Look at those fingerprints. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So keep the case on if you don't like fingerprints, but also bear in mind the case itself scratches relatively easily. But it's a case, that's why it's there. The phone itself, fingerprint attracting or not, is beautiful. You can see. I mean, the way it reflects light, it's much better looking than the Honor 8. It's got a curved back. It's kind of like an Honor 8 Samsung Galaxy S7 love child. Yeah, definitely. In the way it feels. But because it's 5.2 inches, it's really manageable. Yeah,
it sits in any hand essentially. Really comfortable, and I love the shiny effect.
Yeah,
I've had so many people stop me and be like, "What is that phone?" Essentially, instead of it being like a black slab like a lot of other phones look like at the moment. Especially this blue version. You've got I think there's a grey version and a white version as well, and a couple of other colours. But yeah, the blue one is by far the best.
Definitely, it's a flagship model. So if you're in the UK picking one up on 3, this is the one you're going to be picking up. Right, comments section, live chat is on fire. What's the battery life as good as the Lenovo P2? No. No phone is as good as a Lenovo P2 battery, but this has much better design, much better camera, and it's a much faster chipset, much faster processor, and it's only like £169 more expensive. So actually it gives you a lot, and it does last a full day. I think that's like the base level that a phone has to last, and this hits it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love the Lenovo P2, and it's mainly because of that battery life. But yeah, the Honor still, it offers you a full day, so you can't really be too disappointed in that, really.
No, definitely not. Thanks for that question, John Porter. Didn't even realise it was you.
Neither did I.
William Judge, should I get this or the Oppo 5?
I think he means OnePlus 5.
Oh, OnePlus 5. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So actually, that's a good one because James reviewed the OnePlus 5.
Yeah, I reviewed the OnePlus 5 as well. The OnePlus 5 is a lot more, not a lot more money. It is a bit more money though. You're talking about an extra £70 for the base model of the OnePlus 5, and then you can spend an extra 50 quid on top of that, about $50 as well. The OnePlus 5 is probably a nicer package in all. It's got a really lovely design. I love the Honor 9 design, but I think the OnePlus 5, I prefer it personally.
I disagree.
Do you?
Yeah,
really?
I really do.
Right, okay.
I much prefer how small this is. It's more comfortable.
I prefer bigger phones. So that's probably the difference there. But yeah, for that amount of money that you're saving with the Honor 9, you can't stop recommending it, essentially.
No, I think it sits very well underneath the OnePlus 5. It isn't the powerhouse the OnePlus 5 is. Don't get me wrong, the processor, the Kirin 960, benchmarks like a dream, and we've got the 6GB RAM version. But in the same breath, the OnePlus 5 smashes it, and the camera is better on the OnePlus 5 as well. Although it doesn't have as many effects. If you watch the review or read James's review and you fell in love with all the effects, then it's Honor or Huawei devices all the way, and right now this is the easiest Huawei made device to recommend, I'd say.
Yeah, by far, especially when essentially most of the features on here are similar to the Huawei P10, but it's £200 cheaper, so that's a really big deal. And probably better looking as well. I certainly think so. I think a lot of people probably think the same thing. So.
So if you want the bigger screen, the OnePlus 5 and the extra power, but if you want something that's a bit more easy to manage, then Right, let's have a look inside the live chat. Also, if you can need us to speak up, if there's anything with the feed that isn't quite right, just fire them through in the live chat. All right, Wasim Rahman says, what do you think of those black bars on the screen? I personally hate how visible they are. Honestly, they're so dinky.
Yeah.
I mean, I hadn't even noticed it properly. Now, this is no Samsung Galaxy S8.
No, the Galaxy S8 just looks like a phone from another world. Essentially, it looks like what phones should, what I think phones should look like in about 5 years' time, and it's here now. That's the really big difference with the Galaxy S8. This still does look like a phone that we've had for the last 5 years, but it's still a really good combination of everything from the last 5 years into a great package.
Yeah.
And again, it's about, in some places, it's half the price of the Galaxy S8 Plus.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal.
Big time. And at no point did I wish the screen was any more than the full HD it is. It's a better quality screen than the Honor 8 was. And yeah, like the pixel resolution, the pixel density over 400, it's 424 pixels per inch, I think it is. You're not going to need more than that. So yeah,
we were comparing this side by side with the Honor 8 screen, and this screen is just so much better calibrated. It looks so much better,
and it's customizable.
Yeah, because you kind of hear that kind of spiel in a press conference, don't you, where they say the screen is improved even though it's the same technology, and then you actually put them side by side and you're like, okay, yeah, they really have improved that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and
if you've got an Honor 8, that's a big improvement for the 9.
Definitely, I think it's an improvement over the Honor 8 in every single respect, and that's one thing that Huawei and Honor has nailed. Right, let me just look through your comments. Does it have a dual cam? Yes, it has got a dual camera and takes full advantage of it with those effects. Show us a back camera performance. So we can't, because it's a live video, go into performance too much, but if you check out either James. If you check out, because John Porter's messaging, he's sent a smiley face. If you check out James's review on Tech Radar, or even the video review, you'll be able to see loads and loads of camera samples in there as well, and even some comparisons with the Huawei P10 in low light and the Honor 8 in low light. Any sign of the Honor 9 Pro? Haven't heard any rumours about the Honor 9 Pro.
No, and the Honor 8 Pro came quite a while after the Honor 8,
it was relatively recent.
Yeah, I think like probably about
6 months ago.
Yeah, and that's 6 months after the Honor 8 launch. So you're going to have to wait a while for that. So maybe the Honor 8 Pro is where you want to go for that, or maybe the Honor 9. You're going to be waiting a while for a Pro version, even if they do one, essentially.
Definitely. And that was from Ivan Goldsberry. Thanks for the comment. Which is better, LG G6 or Honor 9? I prefer the Honor 9.
I prefer the Honor 9 too. I haven't used the G6 much. I've only used it in passing kind of thing. But again, that's another phone that looks great. But again,
it comes down to the money.
It really does come down to the price.
You get so much more bang for your buck with this. Plus, the G6, if you're in the UK, has 32 gig onboard storage, whereas this has 64 as a base model. And it's just no comparison. Like I just now I fill up a 32 gig phone within 3 or 4 weeks. How can you recommend someone keep that for 24 months on a contract?
Yeah, so go with the Honor 9 then probably, unless you're really desperate for a LG G6.
Yeah, which you could be. Like the screen on the G6 is better and it has got a wider angle camera, although I personally prefer the effects the dual lenses on this gives you.
I love how it's shining whenever you do that.
Yeah, I know, it's just like, it's
that's awesome.
really pretty phone. So that was from Bram Essling, thank you. Is the Honor 9 better than the Mi 6? We haven't got the Mi 6 in the UK, so neither of us have used it, so we can't say that one.
Sadly,
for sure.
It's the phone we want to try, but it's mostly limited to Asian markets at the moment.
Definitely. A lot of people are planning to get it. How about wireless charging? No wireless charging, unfortunately. And it doesn't support Huawei Supercharge either, which is a really fast charging, but it does support fast charging. So it'll charge from 0 to full in just shy of 2 hours, which isn't terrible, but it's not great.
Yeah, Huawei don't really seem interested in wireless charging, do they?
No,
They've not really pushed on that on any of their devices.
No, I've not seen it on a single one.
I don't see them doing it anytime soon either. No. It's kind of...
I mean, they could have.
This would have been the one to do it.
A glass back, but plus, you know, Honor devices generally try and cut the right corners in order to keep the price down. So if they did introduce it, it would probably be on a Mate device or on a P device. So
maybe the Mate 10 that we expect to launch at the end of the year.
Yeah,
maybe, but usually they're metal phones, so it's probably unlikely.
Yeah, exactly. So what is the Huawei Nova still worth it? I like the Nova. Where the Nova falls down is the camera. It uses the same camera as a P9, but it's a single lens, not a dual lens, and it has no OIS, so it tends to crumble in low light. The Nova Plus was much better, but yeah, I'd say the Nova for design for everything is a beautiful phone, but the camera just not so great. Right, anyone else? In Singapore, apparently, Ku Kurin says the price of the P10 has dropped to the price of the Honor 9. If you can get this or the P10 at the same price, the P10 does have a better camera, in low light especially, and in video. So yeah.
Very similar size, and design is essentially the metal, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
That is the main thing. Like, in terms of how it fits in your hand, it's going to be a similar experience. So yeah, if the P10's the same price, maybe that's what you want to go for.
Opt for the P10, I'd say, based on the camera. I prefer the design of the Honor 9, but the camera would swing it for me personally with the P10. As far as the screen goes, you've already spoken about it. It's an IPS panel. It's so extensively customizable. You can change the white balance, you can switch on like the blue light filter and everything like that. So it's got everything you're going to want from a modern day flagship, and inside it runs Emotion UI. What do you think of Emotion UI?
I really didn't like Emotion UI until a couple of months ago, and then started using 5 properly and realised actually this has improved a lot. There was a lot more improvements here. Not the app drawer, sorry, whenever you swing this down and you're looking at all your features here, this is brilliant. There's just so many little nuances to it, and I don't know if that's something that I've gotten used to, or if I think it's Emotion UI 5 has just really improved upon it, essentially.
I so agree. One thing I really miss about it though, like if you had an Honor 8 or any of the other Huawei devices with the rear mounted scanners, or even a Pixel or Pixel XL, the pull down for the notification tray, but that's the only thing. With this.
So you stopped using these buttons here, didn't you? And started using the fingerprint scanner. How did you find that? Because I was mostly using the actual
on the screen buttons or the capacitive.
Yeah.
So I got used to. So for anyone who hasn't had one of these devices with the front fingerprint scanners from Huawei, they're gesture centric. So what you can do, you can tap it in order to go back a level, long press it in order to go home, or swipe left or swipe right in order to go to your multitasking.
Yeah.
And once you get used to that, it becomes second nature. I got used to it with I was reviewing the Porsche design Huawei Mate 9, and that's what introduced it.
Oh, okay,
and so I only had that for a week, but after a week I got used to it, and ever since then, every time I've had one of these, it's just second nature.
It was either the Mate 9 or the P10, I can't remember now, but I started using that, and I was used to it within about 3 days, and then switched to another phone, and I was so lost. I was so lost having to press buttons again.
It's so funny, you're swiping left and right, and when I first heard about it, I thought I wouldn't, and I really did miss the, but the thing is, the phones that make me miss the rear mounted fingerprint scanner with the pull down, so it pulls down your notification bar, are bigger phones. This phone, it isn't a stretch to pull down your notification tray, so I think that the gestures are cool. Emotion UI, like pairing the hardware and software, I always really like that. Huawei tries to be quite smart with it, and the fact you can bring back the applications tray if you want to, you can customize it so extensively. I mean, just little things like the thing that gets me going, like for example, if I unlock my phone, I have my wallpaper there, but if I actually properly unlock it and go into my home screen through Emotion UI, I can actually apply a blur to my wallpaper so that the apps stand out a little bit. So it's just little things just make me really like Emotion UI. Plus, it's stable. It's fast and it's stable, and machine learning on board, so that the more you use it, the more stable it is. Not a fanboy, but not too far off. Right, anyone else in the comments? OnePlus 5 versus Honor 8 Pro.
I haven't used the Honor 8 Pro. We really liked it though. One of our guys in the US, Matt Swider, he reviewed that phone, and again he really liked it. But the OnePlus 5 is also fantastic. It's one of our best phones at the moment. I think it's at number 3 in our favourite phones, and it's fantastic the whole way across. And I think that's probably your option to go for over the 8 Pro.
The Honor 8 Pro, the OnePlus 5 has a better camera. Honor 8 Pro has a better screen. It's a bigger screen. It's Quad HD as well, as opposed to Full HD. And it has a 4,000 milliamp battery, but the OnePlus 5 is more powerful and the camera is better. So I reviewed the Honor 8 Pro. You reviewed the OnePlus 5, so I think both devices we both loved. But yeah, it depends on what you're after.
The fact you're even thinking of going for either of those phones, you're onto a winner.
Yeah, big time. Right, okay. Mehul Kulkarni says, today's my birthday. Please, could you gift me a phone? No, but we can give you a shout out. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, man.
Are there any custom ROMs available for the Honor 9? So I haven't had any experience with customizing my Honor 9. I haven't rooted a phone in a long time. I used to root phones all the time because there was a real need with Android, because all the custom launchers on top of stock Android were so heavy. It was when touch was with Galaxy S2, Galaxy S3. But now, like, we were just like, you know, gushing over Emotion UI. And it's because it's actually great as is out of the box. You don't need to faff about too much with it, personally. When is the Mate 10 releasing? Will it have a 2K display or a 1080p display?
We have no idea.
That's a question you want to put to Huawei.
Yeah, essentially. The Mate 9 launched, if I'm right, in November last year, and then was actually released in December, so at least for the UK.
On 3 exclusively.
Yeah, so I'd expect the Mate 10 to launch a similar time. We hope by the end of the year, essentially. In terms of the display, we don't know. I would probably go for 1080p. I don't see.
I'm going to argue with you on that.
Oh, right.
Only because for the first time, Huawei's introduced Quad HD on a 6-inch form factor with the Honor 8 Pro.
That's true.
So they've already set that precedent.
So maybe, and that will be the phone to do it. They usually bring in their big features, the new chipset, their new inventions into the Mate series. So if they're going to do that, it'd be there rather than the B series. So.
Kirin 970, 6 or 8 gig of RAM.
You reckon?
Quad HD at least.
Okay.
And
at least.
Yeah, I reckon they'll probably potentially even have OIS on both cameras, but at least one. Like, I think they could actually, and I hate myself for saying this, but they could get away with using the same camera module. Because people their cameras are really, really good. Really, really good.
The Mate 10 should be exciting. It's going to be a big combination of everything they've done so far. So hopefully it'll be great. Fingers crossed. What else we got?
What else we got? I think that's the crux of the question. Should I get Honor 9 Pixel or OnePlus 5? So we've covered the Honor 9 and OnePlus 5 quite heavily, but Pixel.
Pixel's still very expensive. The
Yes,
Pixel, even though it is 9 months old now, basically, it's still a very expensive phone. They haven't dropped in price really at all. It maybe £100 max. I do really like the Pixel, and it sits in the hand really well, but I don't think
it's hard to recommend for the price. Plus, it isn't expandable. Now, the OnePlus isn't expandable either, but it's got more storage at its base variant.
Yeah, it's 64GB base variant, and then there's a 128GB version as well, which is an extra £50 or around $50. So.
Which is, you'll be paying the same for a 32GB Pixel, which is just ridiculous. And I don't buy the cloud storage thing they're pushing, but 32GB, if you're into gaming specifically, especially things like RPG, stuff like that, they'll take a couple of gigs on your phone. 32GB will fill up. Pixel's hard to recommend, although the Pixel does have a better camera.
Yeah, it does have a fantastic camera.
The video stabilization on the Pixel is better as well.
Yeah.
And the screen.
Yeah.
Anyone else? So I think that is everything. Oh no, loads more.
And as someone's just said there, William Judd has just said, wait for the Pixel 2. We do think the Pixel 2 is going to be coming 12 months after the launch of the original Pixel. So in the next couple of months, that will either be a great phone that you may want to buy, or it might push the price of the original. Well, it will push the price of the original Pixel down. Yeah. So if that's something you're looking forward to, and you can wait a few more months, maybe that's what you should do.
Totally agree with you. So now we've talked about the UI. Let's talk about performance.
Sure.
Did you game a lot with this?
Yeah, I did quite a bit of gaming with it, and I had absolutely no problems. I was really impressed with how everything loaded. No crashing. Just the whole shebang, really.
Yeah, I mean, if I take Antutu for example, this benchmarks. I opened the 3D bench. I always do that. This benchmarks an Antutu over 500,000. I think it is. And the Kirin 960, 150,000 even. 151,000. The Kirin 960 processor in here, that's about the same as a Galaxy S8, was it?
Yeah.
So that's off the chart.
Yeah, in terms of Geekbench scores at least, that's usually the one that we run on most of the phones, and Galaxy S8, OnePlus 5 and the Honor 9, all in a very similar space. So for gaming, this is probably one of the well, it is one of the go-to phones
for the price,
gaming a lot, especially for the price.
Yeah, it's probably the best balance of price to performance. So the Geekbench was the one that was the same as the S8. S8's a little bit better, GPU's a little bit more powerful, but Geekbench is more representative of day-to-day use, which is very cool. And we definitely found, like with the Mate 9 myself, same processor, same resolution screen, therefore same kind of power implications. It lasted for the 3 months that I used it as my daily driver without slowing down, which is really, really impressive. And it's not often the case with Android devices. I was running Injustice 2 loads on it. I will say, like, occasionally
we've got a video playing behind us now.
Oh, video playing behind us. He's going to sort that out. Occasionally what I did find was with Injustice 2, it got a little bit warm. I had a thermometer gun with me and it got down to around 40 degrees or thereabouts. Now 40 degrees isn't crazy hot, but it's just warm, so bear that in mind. Not the coolest phone on the block, but
sorry about that.
That's right. Performance itself was exceptional, like absolutely exceptional, and multitasking as well. I did split screen multitasking on this all the time. I constantly had a second video playing in the top, and it worked a treat. Do you think the Google Home in the UK will get a Bluetooth or call speed? It's a slight tangent here.
Yeah, that's not really related to this.
That was from Jason, right, about Google Home.
Thanks for asking anyway.
Yeah, so most of the questions really are, how does this compare to the Honor, like not 8, the P10, etc. What we're going to do, if you're asking how this compares to another phone, if you fire that in the comments section, if we don't get to you, then we'll make sure we come back to you. We'll get to whoever we can with that. Right,
sure thing.
So performance, great. Screen, great. Design, great. Camera?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
Not great. It's it's an 8 out of 10, I'd say. It's again, for the price, it's a really good camera, but it's not the Galaxy S8 camera in my opinion. I think that's the go-to amazing camera out there at the moment. OnePlus 5 also has an amazing camera. So does the Pixel, so it's not competing with that kind of level, but it's just a touch below, and that's okay for most people's usage.
That's okay, but also I'd say if you broke down the camera score into image quality and then shooting modes, it would get probably a 7 for pure image quality, but a 9 for shooting modes, which bumps it up to the 8 James was talking about, because the shooting modes are so smart that they actually like make you think the sensor's better than it is. The like aperture mode, even things like the night mode. Huawei's night mode is unlike any other night mode, because what it does is it actually does an HDR, it composites a long exposure, and it's very smart, very smart. So Huawei doesn't necessarily need to whack the best sensors in here. So if you're just pointing and shooting in automatic all the time, it's not going to be the best camera. But if you're prepared to geek out a little bit, like I said, I've had this as my primary phone. I was just at a wedding the past weekend, and I can actually like jump into some of the shots that I took. I mean, this looks like it was taken on a Pro DSLR.
That looks amazing.
The wedding photographer actually like grabbed my phone. Isn't it really good? Like yeah, the wedding photographer grabbed my phone. He was just like, how did you do that? And I'm like, this isn't even the best camera phone. But those shooting modes, which are available on the P10, turn it into a really great phone.
Yeah, and there's a lot more fun stuff in here, isn't there? Like, I can't remember what the tool is called now. Can you get that up?
Yeah. So if you open up the camera and then you swipe into the left, there's this very serious sounding tool called it's 3D Creator.
Yeah.
So
it's not what it sounds like though. When you actually jump into it, it maps your face essentially. You scan around someone's face and you can map their face from a few different angles, and then it puts you on basically a walking talking emoji, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, I'll find one quickly.
It's a little kind of like the Wii Me's. You kind of personalize yourself like that. And you can give yourself different outfits, make yourself do different dances. It's a lot of fun. It's not really something you're ever going to use properly, but there you go. You can.
This is a really creepy one. But yeah, so it basically turns you into a 3D caricature. But it is fun. It's out of the box. Like what Huawei is saying is that these phones are aimed at digital natives, they call them. Now that just for me sounds like media bump. It's like, but if it's aimed at kids or younger people, then you want it to have stuff that out of the box that is going to differentiate it.
Definitely. Yeah,
and this does.
Yeah,
this
it's a bit of fun,
absolutely
isn't it?
does.
It's just a bit of a shame that it's kind of hidden, actually. I don't really think it's something that anyone's really highlighted. It wasn't really even something they highlighted in the launch. So if they're going to launch with those kind of features, why not make them front and centre? That's my only criticism of it, really.
Yeah, completely agree.
Yeah.
So yeah, the camera, it's fun. It's fun. Like if you want, and it's really, really fun if you want to spend some time geeking out over it.
Yeah, definitely.
So
any other questions?
How much is the phone?
How much is the phone?
It's 369, isn't it?
379, so 380 essentially in the UK. Not released in the US
just yet. No.
It may come later, but there's no real sign of that at the moment. So if it does, I would expect around $450, maybe a little bit less, maybe $430. That would be a good price for it in the US, but as I say, there's no sign of it coming to the US at the moment. So
yeah,
fingers crossed though.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're in the UK, like check your bands, make sure they all work. As in, if you're in the UK from the US and you're thinking about picking one up, offline price is like so good. Yeah. So yeah, I would easily recommend it if your network bands are working where you are. Okay, so also this has a 3200 milliamp battery in it. And for a 5.2 inch screen device, like we know just doing the numbers, that works. In real life, what did you find?
I found it to be good. There were a few days I got a little bit frustrated with it, where I would get to nearish the end of the day when I was really intensively using it, when I was doing a lot of the gaming, and stuff, and that I found it did struggle, and I was only getting to about 8 PM kind of time, and I was like running out of battery. That's a little bit frustrating sometimes, but most of the time I was getting a solid day out of it. Get to bed, put it on charge, and I'm at like 3% or something, and then wake up the next morning. And recharge times are really good on it as well, considering it doesn't have the supercharged tech inside it. I was still I think I was recharged within about 2 hours, which is pretty good, to be honest.
It's really good as well that we pretty much had identical experiences with it. We've reviewed it relatively independently. And it's consistently done exactly the same for me. Some days of more intensive usage, a lot of Wi-Fi hotspotting, I'd find that it was dying before the end of the day. But generally speaking, full day. Had one question come through. Does it scratch easily? I'm just going to say yes. So it's Gorilla Glass 3. If anyone doesn't know, there's a difference between Gorilla Glass 3, 4 and 5. Gorilla Glass 5 is the one that doesn't shatter easily, but it scratches more easily. Gorilla Glass 4 is more scratch proof. Gorilla Glass 3 is just a bit worse than both, I think it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
But like I've had a case on mine. The case scratches so easily. Check out James's review. He's got a picture of how much it scratches. Like
it's incredible considering you've had this 3 weeks, if even that, and look at this kind of scratches. It looks like you've owned it for about 2 years.
Yeah, it really does. And I don't put my phone in pockets with keys. Like you can see, the phone itself, the metal sides haven't scratched at all. But even with a case on, some plastic or some kind of material may have got inside. I've had the case on religiously. I've got a tiny scratch on the back of my Honor 9, so I'm guessing it will scratch. So keep your case on. Maybe order a spare case if you'd like your case to not be too scratched up. But yeah, it's going to be a relatively delicate device in that respect, and it isn't waterproof. No IP68 water dust resistance. Yeah,
look after it is essentially the message there, really, isn't it? If you're going to buy one of these, you're going to have to just keep an eye on it and make sure you're not putting it in your pocket with your keys, because it'll be an absolute mess by the time you get home.
Exactly. But one thing I will say, the screen I haven't got many scratches on the screen, and that's the same Gorilla Glass protections, so that's interesting. But yeah, the fact the case ships with it is great, but it's also a really nice case, albeit one that scratches. It's form-fitting, it's transparent, and it reveals that really nice blue finish. Shiny. Exactly. There are plastic parts on the phone, right? Can you show us? Are there there's like the only plastic part is the antenna band, which is on the actual metal chamfering. The rest is glass.
And then the metal wedges.
Yeah, it's just some antenna bands that are plastic.
I don't know where they got that from.
No, so I can't see any plastic parts beyond the antenna bands. If you look at the video or James' review over at techradar.com/review/Honor9, then you'll be able to see the actual. In fact, if you're in the comments section, what I can do, I can paste the Honor 9 review in there. So in a nutshell, James, what do you reckon?
Of the Honor 9 entirely. It's a great phone. It's my favourite device that Honor's made, and it might actually be my favourite device that Huawei's made, essentially. It's a really good combination of everything that they've done right for the last few years, and a couple of extra features as well. I think the design, considering I don't think Huawei's that great a design usually, but yeah, this kind of effect, it feels like something different, and the price point as well, being under £400 in the UK is a great price point. Around the rest of the world, that's translating as well. The camera is good, as I say, it's not fantastic. The camera is good, so yeah, I would recommend this phone. I give it a 4.5 star review. So
that's a 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10 for an Honor device. If you told us we were going to be doing that 4 years, 4 years
I would not have predicted that.
No, would not. And Huawei in general, Huawei has obviously come leaps and bounds in the past few years, and a huge part of that is Emotion UI. The design was never terrible. They always made like slender metal phones, but Emotion UI is great. Their camera tech is really solid. And yeah, I just really like this phone. Like I said, so I've had this for the past 3 weeks. I've had the opportunity to move on to another review device. I've actually just chosen to stick with this. And
that says everything, doesn't it?
That really does.
Yeah,
it really does.
That really does sum up, because we could switch to basically any phone that we want right now, and the fact that you've decided to continue using that, and I probably would have as well. It's only that I've moved on to doing another review. That I've switched review. I'm using the Nokia 3 at the moment, and switching from the Honor 9 to that has been a real big downgrade. So and obviously that's because of the price point, but yeah, I'm kind of a bit disappointed not to be using this at the moment. Yeah,
exactly. So long and short, we can really easily recommend the Honor 9. If you're in the UK, you can pick it up offline on Vmall. I think it might be on Amazon as well, but you can also pick it up on contract on 3 UK exclusively. And around Europe it'll be its own pricing, but yeah, I think they're the main regions it's currently available.
Cool.
Amazing. Awesome. Hopefully you enjoyed this live review of the Honor 9. If you did, thumbs up. Let us know what you think of the live reviews in general as well. It really helps us going forward. We'll be doing stuff here on YouTube, also be doing stuff on Facebook. Subscribe to the channel, and that's how you'll stay on top of our videos. And of course, head over to techradar.com, links in the live chat where you can find James's full written review of the Honor 9. Thanks for watching Tech Radar.
Awesome.
See ya.
Bye.